I know many people are probably sick and tired of seeing or even hearing about Candy Owens, but the woman can't keep her mouth shut. Even when she took her show off the air for an entire week, she couldn't get off X. I mean, it's one thing to pull your show, which gets millions of views and she's got millions of subscribers and she's doing very well on that front because of lies and grifts and her, well, provocative conspiratorial narrative and the way she does things. And Tim Pool has already called her out on her social engineering, that line of thought. And many people would see her investigation of Charlie Kirk as being a real investigation. They're so heavily invested in what Candace Owens is doing. And that just goes to show you the level of brain rot that is in our society today. And I think that Candace has capitalized on that. She has hijacked a lot of people's brains with provocative thoughts that most of the time, when you actually put evidence beside it, they fall flat on their face. But if you guys think that her very fake investigation into Charlie Kirk was a one-off and she didn't plan the whole thing, I mean, why does she take certain like time off, like a week here, a week there, or a couple of days here, a couple of days there? It's because she and her team are coming up with more crazy accusations. And all you have to do is look on her X feed and she comes up with even more crazy accusations. I mean, hell, when she took her show off air before that, she was claiming that Emmanuel Macron and Israel, they both teamed up to pay an assassin. One was Israeli and one was apparently a French woman. And the hit was $1.5 million, kind of a crazy amount, don't you think? And I mean, there's no evidence whatsoever. And supposedly the only person or people that know about this is Candy Owens and then her husband, George Farmer. He's doing absolutely nothing, is he? He's doing absolutely nothing. And it's not just me that is noticing this, right? Have a watch of Michael Franzese. If you don't know who Michael Franzese is, he's a Christian man. I've appreciated a lot of his takes in the past, but I don't like the fact that he stands up for Andrew Tate. But aside from all that, he calls out Candy Owens and her husband in this video. Have a watch.
Hey, everyone. You know, Candace Owens has certainly been a hot topic of conversation over the past couple of months on social media. I would say ever since Charlie Kirk was tragically murdered back in September. And I'm not going to comment on some of her theories and the things that she said about that and about the Macrons and other people. You know, if that's what her thing is, then that's what her thing is. She certainly, seemed to want to become the #1 podcaster. So she created a lot of controversy. That's what does it, it seems. But here's what I have to say. Her husband, why would he allow her to do this? Because she is really getting a lot of hate mail. A lot of people are turning on her, really putting her in a situation where people are hating on her. Why would you allow your wife to be put in that position? I would never put my wife in that position, not for social media, not for money, not for anything. To be so hated? I mean, she's out there, she's in public. You know, she's claiming now that the Macrons have, a hit out on her. They want to assassinate her. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about just normal people on social media that have really turned on her and really have spewed hatred out on her. Why would you allow your wife to be put in that position? I hold him fully responsible. I would never put my wife in that position to where people hate on her so much because of what she's doing on social media. I think that's, 100% wrong on his part. And I don't know what their motive is. He's got plenty of money. They don't need money. It was him that I believe caused her to leave the Christian church and become a Catholic. It's still Christianity, but, she turned to Catholicism. He seems to have a lot of pull over her. Why would he put her in jeopardy like that? I hold him 100% responsible if something would have happened to her. Any lunatic could take a shot at her for whatever reason. But she set herself up for it. No one to blame but her, and I hold him responsible. I hope nothing happens to her, but in my view, 100% responsible, not manly, not what a husband should be doing, not one bit.
Now, Michael raises a very important point about George Farmer allowing this to continue. He's just feeding into the crazy conspiratorial narratives, but more than that, he's just allowing his wife to get berated online. And Michael's going, I wouldn't even allow that to happen to my wife. And he's just, the more it goes on, the worse it's going to get. And look, do I think that Candace Owens isn't hated? No, I do think that she is hated by many people. Am I one of them? No, I'm not. Do I wish her harm? No, I do not. I actually wish Candace Owens to have the best possible life ever. Do I think what she's doing is evil, demonic, and satanic? I definitely do. Does that mean she deserves to be harmed? No, it doesn't. Hence why I like this space where you can actually voice your criticism of a woman, but seemingly Candace, I believe, and her husband brought this on themselves. See, when you are lying for a living, and Michael brought this up, he actually says, seems to be, if you get the #1 podcast in the world, you get it through controversy. You're not getting it through just being entertaining, right? You are doing it through controversy, through drama. People are frothing over this crazy conspiratorial narrative that you keep propping up. People are watching you because they want the next big crazy take. And it seems like she is coming up with crazy take after crazy take. I mean, hell, yesterday she was saying to the tune of there's going to be signaling that a 9/11 style attack is coming the second week of December. Save this tweet, it will age well. And the quartering goes, why would a terrorist attack on Americans age well? By the way, who is they? I think we know who they is. And he's right. Why would a terrorist attack on Americans age well? Because you said that it's going to happen? What do you know that we don't? And why don't you actually tell the police what you supposedly know? Nah, this is the problem with these people. They're going to make a crazy assumption, and it's crazy enough to get people talking about it. It's like you've hijacked people's brains nowadays, and Candace Owens has always gone, I want all the smoke and war with every single one of you. Don't know if you guys recall her actually saying, I want war. It means war. She wants this. She claimed it on her show. And then the next thing she goes, why are people targeting me? Why are people after me? Why are the Macrons and supposedly Israel? They're not after you, as far as we're aware, because you claim to have all this evidence, but yet no one knows. You have the #1 podcast in the world. And if I were you, having had death threats or even an assassination attempt or plot, any of the sort, right? You should put all that online to the millions of people that watch you. And not just the skeptics like myself that see you and go, you're full of it. Not just for it's just to do what's right. And I mean, if I got death threats, the very first thing that I would do is go to the police first and foremost. And secondly, I would reveal it to you guys and say, look, it's not just a claim, it's actually real. So these people, especially Candace Owens, are nuts. They're grifters, they're liars, and they want to claim to be the victim when something actually, well, I don't even know if it's actually occurred, but they claim to be the victim even if there's no evidence. It's like, why are you claiming to be the victim when nothing is even happening and you can't even prove that nothing is happening or that something is happening? It's like, what is wrong? And then you have dingbats like Speak with DD that goes, the campaign against Candace Owens only proves to us that she's on the right track. Why are people involving her husband and pleading with to stop his wife? Y'all okay? It's 2025. I thought women had rights in the West. So by your logic, Candace Owens, all the crazy accusations she's making with no evidence whatsoever, and all of us criticizing her means that she's over the target? I'm sorry, what? So what does it actually mean if she's proven wrong then? That she wasn't even close to the target, or that she was dead on target? Because I don't know what the hell you're on about, woman. And we're asking her husband to stop because of the crazy accusations that she's making is causing not only her harm, but other people harm as well. Because I don't know if you've realized, speak with DD, people like Seth Dillon have actually had legitimate threats against their life. Josh Hammer, Laura Loomer, the list goes on, all because of Candace Owens. So she's not just getting other people, and even Frank Turek as well. It's not just her life, it's other people's lives. And I know for a fact that those men, and even Laura, they would share the evidence of the death threats. They share the police report, but Candace, oh, no, can't possibly do that. So how does that prove that she's on the right track? You know what the track that she's on at the moment? Directly straight into the pit of hell. That's the track that she's on currently. And guess what? Her husband is guiding her there. Go for it, Candace. Most of the people currently watching Candace Owens aren't really fans of Charlie Kirk. How do I know? Charlie Kirk promoted healthy debate and dialogue with people you disagree with. Candace's cult-like following does not. It believes everything Candace says or else. If you question her, you're automatically a bad person. If you provide evidence that contradicts her claims, you must be out to get her, or you're part of AIPAC or some like Israeli lobby or something like that. There is no pursuit of truth, only pursuit of compliance. My only real issue with Candace Owens is that I don't believe that she believes the stuff that she's been saying lately. Well, Cinema Shogun, I actually have to disagree with you on that, because I really do think she believes the stuff she is saying, hence why she's a psychopath. Psychopaths tend to believe their own stuff. Not just that, they lead others to believe their stuff. They're that crazy, they're that insane. And they know how to capitalize and know how to monetize on it. If I thought she actually believed the nonsense she'd been sharing, I wouldn't have as much of a problem with it. I feel as if she's preying on her fans. She can do both, mate, just so you're aware. She can be equally insane and also prey on her fans, because her fans are believing in a psychopath and following a psychopath. Hence why you have the reaction from the fans the way that you have. This is what happens when you follow a psychopath, not just someone that doesn't really know what they're doing. No, definitely someone that knows what she's doing, but also psychopaths know what they're doing too. They're insane. They're very calculated. They're thought out well ahead. They're like chess players. And so are narcissists, by the way. It's all about them. They know how to get the attention thrown on them all the time. So, like the Candace Owens fans and all that sort of other stuff, they're another case entirely. But only Candace Owens will turn taking Thanksgiving into a total nonsense farce. Oh, by the way, it's now been 10 weeks of shows nonstop in which she has made roughly 50 accusations and zero outside of a single leaked text conversation that has turned out to be correct. She's due. Due for what exactly? Due for evidence. Due for the truth. But, well, I want to show you in closing Nick Fuentes, who gets asked a question, and he responds by going, all of Candace Owens' conspiracies are starting to bleed into each other. You think that is just total bogus? No, it's planned. Have a watch.
Nick, did you see Candace's tweet about Macron trying to have her killed, but now she's saying the White House/intel agencies have confirmed receipt of her report and that the president will have to come out and address it now. Lol. Happy Thanksgiving.
It's so crazy, man. How is this going to end? How is the story going to end? It just gets crazier and crazier. And like all the conspiracies are bleeding into each other. It's like I said the other night, like you just knew that the first show she did about Charlie Kirk's assassination, that eventually it would turn into a Brigitte Macron thing. Like you just knew from the very beginning it was going to find its way back to being about Brigitte Macron. I guess I just underestimated the extent to which it would lead back to everything that ever happened. The Stanford prison experiment and MK Ultra and the Nazi regime and Project Paperclip and the French Revolution. So yeah, like we knew that was coming, and now you just wonder how is the story going to end? Because it's like she just keeps going and going, and it gets crazier and crazier. It's like either she's going to be proved spectacularly wrong and get sued and lose all her money, or I don't know, maybe she'll be right. Maybe the president will come out and say, leave Candace Owens alone.
Big Daddy Waller sent $100.
The thing with charlatans and grifters like Candace Owens and the whole Brigitte Macron series is eventually she finishes up the series. There ends up being a part 2 continuation. So at the moment, it's this long continuation of who killed Charlie Kirk. And I don't think it's actually going to end. But all of her conspiracies are bleeding into one. That one conspiracy happens to be her in the center of it. Not just Charlie. She's putting herself in the center of it now and taking away, well, they killed Charlie. Now they're after me because I exposed them. You haven't exposed anyone. You've exposed nothing. And it supposedly all comes back to Macron, French government, and also Israel somehow. See what I mean? They're bleeding into one. It wasn't just coincidence. Methodical plan. That's what psychopaths do. They're very good at it. Very clever. But we can be more clever. Because we have the truth. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care. Be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.